We are Makilala TV, the first Filipino-American TV talk show in the New York metro area. Get to know us as we talk to the community leaders, innovators, advocates, and emerging artists who affect Filipino-American life.
Konti lang, paminsan-minsan. These two phrases I hear the most when eating out with my older Filipino relatives. They roughly translate to only a little or once in a while, which may seem harmless, but when I hear it at every single meal, every day, but with different unhealthy foods, it leads to long-lasting harmful effects to our bodies. In this episode, we will dive deeper into Phil-Am health and the importance of maintaining an active, healthy lifestyle. This episode will officially launch Makilala TV's new initiative called Makilala in Minutes, 3 Quick Health Bites. I, Rachelle Ocampo, am joined with my co-hosts Jen Fuhrer and Cristina Pastor as we ask our two special guest speakers about their personal and professional experiences with Phil-Am health, particularly heart health. Dr. Emerson Ea is Assistant Dean for Clinical and Adjunct Faculty Affairs at New York University Myers College of Nursing. He obtained his Doctor of Nursing Practice, DNP, degree from Case Western Reserve University and his PhD from Duquesne University. He is author and founder of Kaya Ko, a health campaign that empowers Filipinos to adopt and maintain a heart-healthy lifestyle. Modesto, or Ding, Dia has been a salesman for 12 years and teacher for 27 years. He regularly plays tennis to keep himself fit. He has been with his wife, Faye, of 51 years, and both love to play tennis, garden, travel, and Zumba. He is now a tennis coach for adults and children 10 and under. Ding is 81 years old, turning to 82 next week. So what I love most about what he shared with me earlier in his life is his life quote, "Mens sana in corporis sano," which translates to a sound mind in a sound body. This is a perfect introduction to my first question. Emerson, why do you think it is so difficult for Phil-Ams to maintain a healthy lifestyle or a sound mind in a sound body?
Well, good day. Thank you so much, Rachel, and thank you, Cristina and Jen, for this opportunity and for Makilala TV. That's a very important question to ask, and that's a laden question with a big answer. One thing comes to mind is that Phil-Ams may not even be familiar of what a healthy lifestyle is. So we need to educate Phil-Ams what is a healthy lifestyle. Although Phil-Ams may be aware of what a healthy lifestyle is, they may not be motivated to maintain a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, I think motivation is really a key factor of changing any behavior. You need to be motivated to change any behavior. So, Ding, what really motivates you to be healthy or to stay healthy?
I have to, in my life, I have to remain healthy or be healthy because my occupation, like selling, you have to be out in the field every day. You have to keep up the energy, the enthusiasm, and believe in yourself. And being a teacher, you have to deal with these students. Some of them very rowdy.
Is it important? Is it important that your wife or your partner is also health conscious?
Ah, yes, she's a nurse in the first place. So
Okay.
I get advice from her.
Yes.
And it's very important for me to be up always. I'm in the field sometimes when I was a salesman for 12 hours and up to 16 hours.
Oh my
so
gosh.
That's a long time outside.
So really is that motivation of
Yeah.
for maintaining work ethic and
Yes.
keeping longer hours of energy.
Yes, especially being a teacher too here in New York.
Yeah, Dr. Emerson, you mentioned earlier we have to educate the community. How do we do that? Especially maybe health and wellness isn't a priority for most family household.
We need to do a lot more in the community. If we know of anyone, if we know of someone who could really educate us what a heart healthy or what a healthy lifestyle is, then we need to ask them. Providers in particular, they have a responsibility to reach out to individuals, to patients in the community, to let them know what a healthy lifestyle is, because your idea of a healthy lifestyle may not be what healthy lifestyle is.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe it's like conflicting, like what does a healthy lifestyle mean?
Right. So a healthy lifestyle, it really digs more into what are those activities that could lead to a healthy lifestyle. So we hear this all the time, eat healthy, exercise regularly, do not drink, do not smoke.
Yeah.
So those are some examples of what a healthy lifestyle is. So that is so important for the Filipino community, because does it really ring a bell to our community when you educate them about this healthy lifestyle?
What I don't like is when doctors say, oh, you should lose weight or you should eat healthy, and then that's it. That's where the conversation ends. It's not practical to tell patients that. It's more important to give them specific examples of how to change your diet. So for example, I had a nutritionist say to me, well, one good example that you could do is when you're shopping and you see two different brands of, say, apple juice. You see which of the two in the nutrition facts has less sugar, which one has less sodium, so that you could pick which one of those two. And if you do that for every single item that you buy, it's one step closer to getting a healthier lifestyle. So those little tricks and steps, I think, is more valuable than, okay, you should lose 5 pounds.
I think we're getting a lot of these messages from mass media, from relatives, from friends, but for some reason they're not resonating with some
And
of
we
us.
like quick fixes.
Yeah.
I mean, if you drink this tea, you can eat whatever you want
Yeah.
and you still lose weight.
Yeah.
But that's not a reality, and plus
Like
it's not.
taking this vinegar, apple cider vinegar.
Oh, yeah, that
People
sounds
would
like
like
a
to listen
trend.
to those kinds of
Yeah.
Like
hacks.
people,
Right.
Filipinos
But,
like
yeah.
shortcut.
Shortcuts,
I
yes.
think that's just humans in general. But for Phil-Ams, what can we do
Good. So
that will resonate with us?
That would
So that
resonate.
really is the big question. How could we make those healthy lifestyle relevant to the Filipino community? That's why, thank you for introducing Kaya Ko for the Filipinos, not just in New York, but for anyone who's interested about Kaya Ko, because this is a culturally tailored health education model that Filipinos could adapt or use to guide them what healthy lifestyle is. So, for example, Kaya Ko actually is an acronym that stands for Heart Healthy Activities. So K stands for kilos for Filipinos. That stands for activities or exercise. So it is easy for, like what Jen said, to tell Filipinos, do exercise. Yeah, but what kind of exercise I should do? What really resonates to me as a Filipino? But when you tell a Filipino, go do Zumba, do line dancing, do all these really vigorous exercises, it resonates to us. Because that's most important, that it really makes it relevant to us. It's culturally sensitive. Because when we see these ads on TV, we look at it, but it doesn't really go deep within us. And how could I really make a difference?
Yeah, you mentioned Zumba. I mean, I would love Dane to talk about Zumba, because, I mean, I don't know if it's generation and you guys love to move and you love to dance, but for 81 to actually love Zumba and tennis, I mean, what started it all?
One thing with Zumba is that I took it up with my wife because I am good with footwork. I can move well in the tennis court, but it's different when you are dancing. Okay. I had, in the first place, I had 2 left feet. So I'm not really a graceful dancer. But to keep time with the Zumba beat, I could, you know.
I think
And
it's
more
definitely-
aerobic and it's more like keeps me, especially during winter when I cannot play tennis.
But
I
it
have
has to be.
exercise.
It has to be consistent.
Yes.
And people have Zumba only when their organization has a meeting, or when somebody has a party.
Right.
There is no consistency.
I mean, you could do walk for 30 minutes
That's
around
the-
the
yeah.
park,
Yes.
or
I walk my dog 30 minutes
Yeah,
Oh,
a day,
that's
right?
good.
Yeah.
Especially when I cannot play tennis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And inclement, I mean, when it's winter.
But
And-
after that, we reward ourselves with eating a lot.
At eating a lot.
Well, that's
That's
good.
another
the
That's
next
another
one.
one, right?
No, that's the next one because you could use Kayako, the acronym, as more of like your reminder. What is healthy lifestyle? So, K kilos a alak, which is alcohol in Filipino. How much can you drink? You can do it in moderation.
okay.
And Y is stands for yosi, or it's a slang term for cigarette
Cigarette.
smoking.
I did not know that
And
before.
Filipinos could identify with that for sure. Of course, not smoking or curtailing smoking. Those are the healthy lifestyle. A is for those who already have high blood pressure or to prevent high blood pressure. It is alta presión, very common among Filipinos in New York in particular.
So what's the healthy level now for blood pressure?
The new level is, it used to be that you have to have at least a blood pressure, systolic blood pressure of 140 to be considered hypertensive.
Oh my gosh.
The new guideline is 130.
Okay, because when I
Over
started
what
doing
age?
research about PhilAm Health, 3 in 5 PhilAms in New York have high blood pressure.
Why
but
is
that
that?
was from data from years ago. So I'm sure that's even
Is that current, Dr. Ea?
The 3 to 5.
Yeah.
That's
Does
from,
that still hold true?
That's from the previous guideline of 140 to 190.
okay.
Now, if you're gonna look at maybe the data about Filipinos and high blood pressure, that will definitely
be high.
change.
So one practical advice that I would think is make sure that you check your blood pressure. I don't think people really check their blood pressure regularly to see if they have high blood pressure, and if they do, which is 130 over.
Well, below
Below 130,
that.
yes.
Of course,
Wow.
120 over 80 is
Yeah.
the recommendation.
Yes.
I'm curious about Modesto's diet. What do you eat on a given day?
Well, first of all, I eat
What is your breakfast like?
heavy. When it is breakfast, I call it King's breakfast.
Mm.
Because
Or queen,
I usually have a tennis match or
the heaviest meal
tennis
at a
date
time.
in the
Oh,
morning.
okay.
So
Okay.
I have to load up on carbohydrates. So I love oatmeal, you know,
I love when you say carbs. I'm thinking
and
bread.
fruits like
Rice.
banana. And
You don't have
That's-
bacon and eggs?
I do also
Every day?
bacon and eggs.
Ah.
In fact, I load up with like 2 eggs.
Okay.
I was doing it every day until my doctor said your cholesterol went up, so I have to
You
lessen
saw.
it to 1 egg maybe.
What is your lunch like?
It's usually light. You know, I eat the heaviest. My King's breakfast is really the heaviest
heaviest,
meal
yeah.
of the day.
They say
It
that's the
should be that
healthy
way.
way. to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I've read about
Not
that.
like the coffee and bagel thing that is Americans do, in the
yeah.
morning.
But oatmeal and
Yeah,
eggs.
sometimes
Yeah.
rice and,
Oh, rice.
and eggs and fruits.
Mm-hmm.
But
But
that
then
goes
he
back-
plays tennis
Fruits.
after that,
Yes.
though, so
Yeah.
he's burning.
Yes.
So I burn up those calories that I eat
Yes.
in the
That's
morning.
right, yeah.
And that's also just in general, like in moderation. And you actually listen to your doctor. Instead of having 2 eggs, you cut down to 1.
Yeah.
And that really goes back to like kayoko, like you have to do things in moderation.
Right. And Tito Ding actually mentioned something very important, which is a lot of implication for the Kayako heart education model, which is the self-confidence or the confidence or the motivation of
Yes.
that individual. So KO stands for Kumpiyansa para sa Kalusugan, which is confidence for better
Yes.
health. All of these education, they're important, but if you don't have the confidence, that motivation, that self-efficacy is how we describe it sometimes, that will not go further. So
Yeah.
Tito Ding, his motivation and his consistency to observe those healthy lifestyle is really, really the key.
Is Kayako some kind of a movement? Health movement?
It is from my previous work. I've done work with Filipinos for many, many years, about 10 years now. And what I've noticed is that when you send all these reminders for healthy information, they don't really resonate with the Filipino community. And maybe that's one of the reasons, and that's a major reason, in my opinion, why Filipinos are not able to maintain healthy lifestyle, because all these interventions, all these reminders do not resonate to us.
Yeah.
So why not create a health education model, a reminder that would resonate to us?
Yeah.
Kaya ko is a word that will resonate not just in an observing heart-healthy lifestyle, but to all the things that we do as Filipinos.
See, I like the kaya ko means I can.
I can,
Yes.
It means I can do it.
Yeah.
So if I want to be healthy, if I want to be strong, there are options, so I can do it. Right? So, but how do we change that mindset? How do we instill in people, okay, we're having a potluck, a party. It's okay to have a certain amount of food. It's, you know, like in buffets and things like that. I mean, how do we change the mindset? How do we encourage people to be healthier and stronger?
Well, that's really the $64,000 question. Everyone has the answer to that. We would all be healthy, and not just for among Filipino-Americans, but for all. But you're right, and studies have shown that motivation is supported by people who know you and who really support you. So a big part of changing that lifestyle is to look at role models like Tito Ding and to really hear from them, how do they do it? And also your family members.
Yeah.
Support one another. We know ourselves, we're a community, that's how we're known for as Filipinos. We can do it, we can support one another. We have to celebrate our successes in these heart-healthy initiatives and movements, because we can do it.
Yeah, that brings me to my next question is, what advice do you have for family members who are dealing with their dad who is just so stubborn of changing their habits, like their health, their lifestyle? Like they always say, oh, it's soda only just once in a while. You know, like how do you approach that without nagging?
Right. To recognize that it is very difficult to change behavior. That's first and foremost. And to really empower the individual. Start slow, start something simple, start something that you can achieve. Because if you start something big, that's why New Year's resolutions fail. We all know that, because we are magnanimous in our goals, but nothing happens at the end of the year because it's just too big. But if you make it small, I'm going to exercise today. I'm going to do 10 minutes for today. I'm going to do 15 minutes the following day. And I'll do that for the rest of the week. And then the next week, maybe I'll up it up to 30 minutes. And then you support a family member. You support a friend. You encourage, you ask that person to come. Let's go do Zumba now.
Yeah.
You know, it's Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m.
Do you think Filipino restaurants have a role to play? Have a
Yes.
responsibility to play?
Yes, we need to be more proactive as a community. We know our food is not the healthiest, right? We know that the foods, the high fat content of our food could really be a significant risk factor in the development of cardiovascular disease. So we have initiatives in the community actually that would educate restaurants how to prepare foods that would still have that Filipino flavor, but would be healthy. So restaurants, and it extends beyond that. I think the reason why we want to make these things more visible to everyone is to influence the things that we do. For example, when they create this menu at a restaurant, why can't they use this healthy ingredient instead of this? It would taste the same.
Right.
It would take you back to that feeling, because that's how Filipinos are. That food is not just food. It is a feeling. It's that feeling of being home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and eating should be an activity.
Yes.
Like I think for I'm not sure about other culture. Like when you go to a party, to go to a restaurant, eating out becomes like going out for a run. Like it became like an activity for people. Some people think it became like an activity.
And food is very central to our culture.
Oh, so
It is not just food. We all know this as a community. When we say we have a party, we really have a party.
Yeah.
But we can have a party, eat in moderation, and have role models. We have to check one another. We're in a party and says, I think that was good.
I think we equate eating and food with celebration too.
Yes.
Which is very important.
I have a question with Tito Ding. Do you take high blood pressure or your high blood medicine?
I have slight high blood pressure, and I take one prescription on that, and
Just one?
I know,
noticed-
just one.
Yeah,
I feel like
just one.
everyone who's over 50 has
And
like 5.
I know when I play tennis, my blood pressure go down, so I play more tennis as much as I could.
Wow.
And I don't have to be motivated for tennis
Yeah.
because
You like it?
I just see a tennis court and I want to go there, and
And you teach too.
I
You're not even
teach
just
and
playing, you're teaching.
I like to play every day. In fact, I could last in the tennis court for 4 hours.
Oh my gosh.
See, that's a different mindset though that
So
we
it's-
should celebrate. I think
It's
that's
something
great.
that I love to do. I think my advice to Filipinos, if they have to find an exercise they love to do. Going to the gym is boring for me. Jogging is
Right.
boring for me. But you let me play in the tennis court, I can stay there for hours.
Are your
Yes,
children also?
Yes, I taught
healthy?
my wife, my
Grandkids.
son,
Uh-huh.
and I play with Mary Joy.
Oh yes. Yeah, this is our first time, I believe, in Makilala TV to have a father and a daughter be our special guests, and coincidentally both in health, our health episodes. So
They have a
you're-
very healthy family.
Yeah, healthy family.
Healthy
Dr.
conscious.
Mary Joy Dia was in our episode on stroke, and now we have you for heart.
I'd like to know what your parties are.
Yeah, like how are
What do
your
you
parties?
serve?
Now we're all gonna go over and eat your healthy food. But
Well,
yeah,
it's we choose the food, of course. My wife cooks, and Mary Joy cooks very well, and mostly Filipino food.
yeah. I think it really helps to have that support system.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I think Filipinos should. This is my own philosophy on eating. I think we should eat, the food that we need, not what we want. Not like the French
That's
do.
a
They
good
like
one.
they like tasty
Small,
food all the
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Filipinos should eat what we need, not what we want. If we do that,
That's
I
interesting.
think, for
yeah.
example, American diet is low in fibers. That's why I like oatmeal,
Yes.
because it prevents me from having the, brings down my cholesterol. And also to engage in a sport or a pastime that you exercise, that you don't need to be you don't have to be pushed to do it. Or you don't have to. It pays it to have a little
Like a log.
New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
They always say that, I'm going to lose weight this way. No, I went vegan one time, and I lost 10
vegan.
pounds
Oh, wow. Yeah.
within 2 weeks.
Wow.
Did you start out healthy as a young person?
I was,
Or were you?
when I was a child, I had a problem with I was like almost paralyzed.
Oh
Oh.
my gosh.
That was a long time ago.
And you had to keep healthy to recover from that condition?
I think after I came out of that, as far as I remember, I became a very healthy. I mean, I was always running and doing something physical,
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah.
manual work in the farm like that.
I think one of the main reasons why I wanted you on the show is to really show our viewers, the film community, that you are one of our role models. It is possible to be healthy and live over 80 years old in America.
Yes.
I really hope that resonates with people and that people look up to you to see that it is possible. And I haven't shared this with many people yet, but I just got my blood tests like last week, and they said that I have high cholesterol. And I am fairly young, I am not overweight, and I have high cholesterol.
Could be genetics.
It could be different factors, but now I really see that you could have it at any age, at any weight, and just be more mindful in moderation with everything.
Well, the
So-
important thing is you recognize. You read your
Yes.
blood work,
Yes.
and then you said, okay, I have to
and
do something
I'm telling
about it.
everyone so that they can, whenever they see me eating. So yes, I'm really thankful for the support system.
Did they recommend any?
Yes,
medication?
yeah, they told me to do more omega-3s. So that means avocado, olive oil, peanuts, salmon, which are the things that I love anyway. So yeah, just keep doing those. But we are coming a little bit more to the close, so I wanted to ask another question. One of the last questions is, what is needed in the Phil-Am community to make a more impactful systemic change? What is really needed?
Well, first of all, we need data, because data inform a lot of things, including policies. And it also make the Filipino community visible.
Yes.
We can talk about high blood pressure among the Filipino community, and we know that within the community, but we need to spread it out beyond our community. This is when health policy makers, practitioners, science and healthcare practitioners really need to know about this healthcare crisis, if I'm going to consider it. That's very, very important. It's a silent killer among Filipinos, and we cannot just keep on being silent. We need to spread, we need to let them know how bad or how significant this health crisis is in our community.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you were able to share about data, and hopefully from this initiative that we can really jumpstart that program. So we have to begin closing the episode, and I'd like to spend the last minute to ask Emerson and Ding to please share a few resources or a last piece of advice for those who feel like that they are ready to start being healthy, but they just don't know how to start.
First of all, I invite everyone to visit the website for Kayako. It's www.kayakoforhealth.org. You can follow us on social media, Twitter and Instagram at Kayako for Health. And we will be updating the site very often to give you some information how to stay healthy.
Yes. And Tito Ding, any piece of advice that you have for the Phil-Am community?
Every Filipino wants to be healthy, and everybody thinks, they should exercise. That's an old advice by doctor to exercise. Everybody wants to exercise, but don't give the time. But if you are interested in doing something, an exercise that will make you pant, not just walking.
Yeah.
If that will make you pant, do it. But it has to be interesting and fun. Otherwise, you're not going to do it for a long time. That's why I've been playing tennis for a long time, because it's fun for me.
That's so good. So thank you again, Dr. Ea and Tito Ding, for being here at Makilala TV. Maraming salamat to our Makilala TV team, Jen and Cristina, and of course to all of our viewers for your continued support.